This is C&T Talking Tigers, where talking Auburn football is what we do. Welcome to the Tiger Den. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of C&T Talking Tigers with Courtney Chandler and my main man, Toney Milford. We are back. The bye week is over, and it's now time to get back to work. Nice to be off, but now it's time to get back to work. We thank y'all so much for watching, whatever day, week, month, year, whenever you're watching. Make sure you always subscribe to this channel, C&T Talking Tigers on YouTube, and also on social media, C&T Talking Tigers. Toney, man, we had a week off. Now it's time to get back to work, man.
Yeah, man, it's good to get off, recharge your battery. But it's even better to have a home game on the lovely village on the Plains on Saturday.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And welcome. The team we'll be welcoming this Saturday is, of course, the Ole Miss Rebels, who is currently ranked the number 10 team in the country. They're in the top 10, only suffering one loss this season so far. That was against Alabama a few weeks ago. And they yeah.
And speaking of that one loss against Alabama, their head coach did not help them out at all.
Nope.
That game, he put Ole Miss at such a disadvantage in the first quarter. He really gave them no legitimate shot. I understand the confidence and the swagger and the belief in your team, but some things just don't make sense. And a lot of those fourth down opportunities did not make sense at all. They went for it. I could have swore one time they was inside their own 40 and they went for it on fourth down. I think one time they might have went for it 2-3 times in a row on fourth down. Made zero sense.
Yeah. That's Lane Kiffin to the T. That's you do crazy stuff. Well, you gotta give it to him. I mean, he sticks to who he is. I have to give him that, but I mean, it's crazy. A lot of people say he started off the game even before they got on the field, saying it's popcorn time. They say he lost the game after he said that statement. So, I had to give it to him. But hey, sometimes your words cost you. But I'm not gonna lie, this is a good team, and they got probably
pretty good team.
The best player is not the leading Heisman candidate right now in the country, with Matt Corral, who right now has near to 2,000 yards. And I think he also leads the team in rushing as well. Only one interception this year. Yeah, so this is definitely
touchdowns, one pick.
Yeah.
He's completing almost 68% of his passes. He's got 474 yards rushing and 9 touchdowns. So he's putting it in the air. He's getting about 60 yards from the ground. He's doing it all, man. He's not turning it over. He's making sound decisions with the football. He is really the best quarterback in the nation, and he goes out and proves it
every week. Yeah, every week. Me and you, we have a chance to take a look at some of their games. Just from what you've seen so far, let's tell us, what you seen.
Yeah, man. From what I've seen, I knew they had a lot coming back, so I knew this was going to be a pretty good team. I think they brought back, if I'm not mistaken, 17 starters.
Mm-hmm.
Really, 8 on offense, 8 on defense, and a punter. So that's a lot of continuity coming
back.
And it's showing in their 6-1 record. Everybody knew the offense would be explosive. They're averaging 42 points a game, but they're giving up 28 points a game, which is good. Which is a good thing for us. They're doing it. They're balanced, man. They got a 4-headed monster at running back. We've already mentioned the best player on their team and the best quarterback in the nation, Matt Corral, being the leading rusher with 474 yards. But they also have 3 other running backs who all average over 50 yards a game. Henry Parrish Jr., Jerrion Ely, and Snoop Connor, man. Those guys really spread the ball around. Snoop's coming in 5'10", 215. He's more of a pounder. Then they got Jerrion Ely, who's good in space, 5'8", 190.
Yeah.
And then the freshman, I think, and Henry Parrish Jr. I forgot Henry Parrish Jr.
Right.
5'10", 190. Sophomore, man. Those 3 boys, they all do different things when they get in there, but they all get the job done in different ways. And like I said, they all touch the ball. They all see the field. So it's gonna be 4 different guys running at us. And like I said, they all 3 of those backs average over 50 yards a game, and Corral does also. So they do a good job of staying balanced with those 4 people running the ball. The 3 main targets offense, they got a good one, Dantario Drummond. He's got about 600 yards and 6 touchdowns. He's gonna be a handful to deal with. Along with Jonathan Mingo and Braylon Sanders, the other 2 leading receivers. These guys are, 6 feet tall.
Right.
Mingo's 6'2", Sanders is 6 feet tall. Those are some nice size receivers. They get the job done. These dudes do a good job of getting downfield. They do a good job of route running. Mingo's a good underneath guy. Braylon Sanders does a good job of in space and getting over the top. So the offense is dynamic, man. They put up almost 300 yards passing every week. But the most important thing, and the thing that I think we need to look at as a whole, is that let me make sure I say this right before I say it, because it was very important that I saw this. And yes, these guys average 42 points a game, like I said, almost 300 yards passing. But the most impressive thing is these guys average 263 yards rushing a game.
Yeah.
All that razzle-dazzle, popcorn, all that stuff is all well and good, but man, he lines up and he runs right down your throat.
Yeah.
He's got weapon, he's got a quarterback, he's got receivers, he's got all that. But at the end of the day, Lane's gonna try to run the ball right now. So we have to stop the run.
Yeah.
It is imperative that we stop the run, because if we do not stop the run, we will be in trouble.
Yeah.
Anybody, and that goes for both sides. If they can't stop the run, they will be in trouble.
Yeah.
And from what I've seen, as far as the offense, man, and especially I looked at most of the SEC games, because after their bye week, they've been on the SEC schedule. They were sacked against LSU 3 times, which is a good thing for us. They were sacked 5 times against Tennessee, which is a good sign
good
for
thing.
us. They gave up 222 yards rushing to Tennessee, which is a good thing. They allowed Arkansas to be 7 for 13 on 3rd down and gave up 350 yards rushing to Arkansas. They gave up 210 yards rushing to Bama. So we might can take advantage of that defense because it's small and it's fast. They only have 4 interceptions total on defense. You know what I'm saying? So as far as our offense on our side of the ball, which Bo's only turned it over once this year anyway, maybe twice.
Yeah.
I think
it's twice, but one of them is kind of I don't think it really was his fault, but it's 2 on the record book.
Right, it's still on 2 on the record book. They only have 4 interceptions as a whole on defense, but they get sacks. They have a total of like 23 sacks on the season. That's about a little over 3 a game. They got 3 guys that they lean on. Cedric Johnson has 3.5 sacks. Chance Campbell has 4 sacks. And Montgomery, Alabama's own Sam Williams. I refereed him when he was in high school. He played at Robert E. Lee. He was a heck of a player then. He went to junior college and showed out. He was a junior college All-American, defensive player of the year in junior college. He had 7.5 sacks for Ole Miss leading the way. Shout out to Sam Williams. He was I remember that kid when he was in high school. I refereed him. He was a baller then, and he's still a baller now. So they will pose problems to us as far as the pass rush. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Yeah.
But I think they have a good solid set of linebackers that make a lot of tackles. A lot of the DBs make tackles, and that comes from allowing a lot of rushing yards. So everybody has to get involved. So just looking at them in SEC play with Bama going for 210, Arky going for 350, Tennessee going for 220. I like our chances here, man. That's it's gonna be a tough game. Arkansas, Mississippi State, Ole Miss is Ole Miss is a very good team. It's the reason why they've only lost 1 game. It's the reason why they're ranked in the top 10. They are a very good team, but I don't know how good they are defensively.
Yeah.
Even you know what I'm saying, they returned a lot, but I mean your defense really wasn't that good last year, so you returned a lot of not good defensive guys. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
But they're giving up 28 points a game. You know what I mean? They're giving
Mm,
up chunk yards. They make splash plays though. They get sacks. They don't turn the ball over, which is a good thing for us, which is not such a good thing
you
for them.
thankful?
You're not
No.
that great on defense. You're gonna be small and fast. You at least want to be small, fast, and you turn the ball over.
Right.
So with them not turning the ball over a whole lot, that lends itself to us having a productive day on offense. I mean, because we put up 35 points a game ourselves. So you know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? But we only give up 19 and a half points per game.
Yeah.
So, you know,
That's true.
if our defense can contain, because you probably can't stop Ole Miss as a whole. You probably just have to
Yeah.
hope to contain them and hope uh Lane, does a lane and just gets in his own way.
Right.
So
Yeah.
you know what I mean. So that's what we're looking at, man. We're looking at. I mean, it's
It's a
gonna be a
tough.
good game. It's a tough matchup. Now, would I like for us to go down to come out Saturday night because it's a night game, 6 o'clock kickoff? I would
Halloween
love,
season game.
you know what I'm saying, a Halloween game. I would love for us to pull off on them and expose their defense. I just want to win.
Yeah.
which I think is coming off a bye week. Everybody got some rest. We should be re-energized. Had another week, what I'm saying, of preparation. We had an extra week of preparation to get ready for Ole Miss. So that was
Right.
basically 2 weeks to build upon what we did down in Fayetteville. So hopefully this game is more about what we're gonna do and not what Ole Miss is gonna do. Because I really want us to come out and just build on the momentum that we had 2 weeks ago and just keep progressing in Harsin's system, be more balanced, get out of the pass happy scheme and run the ball. We had two running backs, two spectacular running backs who average over 70 yards a game.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd like to see both of them get over 100 tomorrow, Saturday. I'd like to see both of those guys get. I know I want to see Tank well over 100, and I want to see Jaquez
At least so close to 70.
approaching him. At least hit his average. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
70.
Hit his average.
Yeah.
Get 70 yards or better from Jaquez.
Mm-hmm.
Both give me 25, 35 yards rushing. A good clean game from the pocket. You know what I'm saying? A high completion percentage. Because, like I say, in college football, I need you to be pushing 70%. As you see, Matt Corral is
Right.
close to 68. Like I said, the best quarterbacks in college football push upward 65, close to 70%. So if Bo can do that, what you did against Arkansas, if Bo can do that, we run the ball, you know what I'm saying, as expected. And as their defense allows people to run the ball,
Right.
I think we get us a top 10 victory Saturday, baby.
I think so too, man. I think so too. One of the things that I did notice about watching the film from Ole Miss, when you talk about their offense, they do have explosive players. You name some, Corral,
Drummond.
Connors, Drummond, but their offensive line gives them time to, open up the field. I noticed that about Ole Miss. They give Corral enough time to make those plays, and they hold them together, to avoid things from happening to him. So that's a big key. You're gonna have to put pressure on that offensive line and make him get out that pocket, make him be pressured in order for him to have a rough day. And then you made also another good point. I watched their defense side of the ball. LSU, Matt Johnson struggled last week because they were in his face. They were making sure they were, getting in. They wasn't getting a sack. They were causing him to turn the ball over in a fumble, and I think that's the one bright spot about their defense. I looked at the secondary. The secondary is okay. It's not I wouldn't say elite. Yeah, it's not an elite secondary. It's an okay secondary. So Bo is if the offensive line can give Bo enough time to get the ball down the field, I don't think he should have a problem with their secondary. But like I said, that defensive line, they do pressure quarterbacks. And I saw it with LSU last week, but this is a winnable game. This is a very, very winnable game. We have coming off the bye week, adjustments should have been made coming from the Arkansas game, which was a really good game for us. So this is a very, very winnable game, but you have to go in the game knowing that, their offensive line gives Matt Corral and gives their explosive players time to get open and get those big plays downfield, because you don't, then it's going to get out of hand. I also noticed another thing about them. They are a team that tries to get ahead early, so it makes teams harder to come back. Yeah, they did it with LSU and they did it with Tennessee as well. LSU, they were up, I think,
Arkansas
30.
too.
Arkansas too. Yeah, Arkansas too. I think LSU, they were up like 31-7. And by the time LSU tried to come back, it was too little too late. Same thing with Tennessee. They were up for a good minute. And then when Tennessee tried to come back at the very end, it didn't work. Arkansas the same way. So this is a team that
and Arkansas came all the way back.
All the way back.
And elected to go for 2 instead of going to overtime.
Mm-hmm.
Try to look. And so Arkansas came all the way back on them. So that leads to the point both of us made. The defense, it ain't all that. It has, and the offense has to try to get ahead because they know the defense isn't all that. So they need to try to get a good lead and try to pace themselves, try to get in front of you so you have a way to come back. Because if you have to sit back and pass, that feeds into their defense. That gives them that small, fast defense. Now they can just attack. They can get after your quarterback. The reason why they hounded LSU the way they did, they hounded Tennessee the way they did. But they're not very good, but they're still in the same breath, they're not very good. I.e., Tennessee being over 50% on third down and rushing for 222 yards. Arkansas scoring 51 points, being over 50% on third down and rushing for 350 yards. Bama rushing for 210 yards. Ole Miss was right there in that game. The difference between that Ole Miss and Bama game really was Ole Miss going for it 5 times on 4th down and Bama getting a big lead. If Ole Miss plays conventional football, that game is a better game. Bama probably still wins. Ole Miss gives them more of a challenge. But Ole Miss could have won that game. That's a game they could have won. I know they like to have that back because Bama's not all that either. Especially and offensively, the offensive line isn't as brutal as it used to be. That run game isn't as powerful and demolishing and demeaning as it used to be.
And
I mean, they got some playmakers. I mean, but those guys aren't just all world. That's not Ruggs, Smith, and Judy out there running around. You know what I'm saying? Ain't Irv Smith and O.J. Howard running around out there. There's no Amari Cooper.
Julio.
There's none of those guys. Michi's good. James Williams, them guys are good, but they're not elite level where they're just so. Bama used to be so much better than you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now they're very good and they're really well coached. They've always been, but they always were just way better than you. Yeah. They had way more 5-stars than you. They had more 5s than you had 4s. They had more 4s than you had 3s. And they didn't really have any 3s. They just had a lot of 5s and 4s.
Yeah.
While you filling yours up with a few 5s here, a lot of 4s, a lot of 3s, and they don't even see 3s. Like they get a 3 here or there, and he turns out to be amazing. You know what I mean? So but that's neither here nor there. This game will come down to what usually I think comes down to every Auburn game. The offensive line and Bo Nix.
The
offensive line if the offensive line gives Bo time to set his feet, make sound decisions. He's shown that he can. If he has the time, he can make sound decisions with the ball. He can be highly accurate when he has time to set his feet and he goes through the offense and he goes through his progressions and his feet. When Bo doesn't have time, it looks crazy. He's running around. He's just throwing the ball everywhere. And then the guys, they don't help him by dropping the ball. Hopefully we had a good consistent week of practice. We can shake those drops because these boys can be had. These boys can be had. We can run the ball on these boys. We can throw the ball on these boys. We can beat Ole Miss. This is a top 10 team. We can get a big win on our resume. So far we've only lost 2 teams. We lost on the road to a then undefeated top 10 Penn State. We lost at home to the best team in college football. Now we have a chance to show we are somewhere in between the 2 of those.
Yeah.
We're not quite Georgia yet, but we're right outside. We're a fringe top 15 program team right now. Now we win this game Saturday. That'll be a close loss on the road to a top 10 team. Lost to number 1 Georgia.
Well, understandable.
Beat the number 10 team in the nation.
Mm-hmm.
Now our first year head coach is starting to build a good solid resume on his first year. He's climbing. He's elevating. You know what I mean?
Coach of the year status.
That LSU win was huge.
Mm-hmm.
That win on the road, that win.
Arkansas win was big too.
That Penn State game would have been really, really, really big. But it was good. It was good for us to be in it the whole time and be there. We lost, hate to lose, but we were there. Winning on the road at LSU, no head coach has done that in 22 years. The Tubervilles, the Chiswick, the Malzahns, what have you. Nobody went down there and won. You can say it's whatever, blah, 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 but nobody else did it. He did that. And then going to Fayetteville, that was a good team. That was a great win on the road in the SEC. So he's got 2 victories on his resume already. And they weren't Vanderbilt and Missouri. You know what I mean?
Right.
He went to Fayetteville. He went to Death Valley in Baton Rouge, one of the most notorious, hardest places to play in the history of college football. He went to Arkansas, which is one of the toughest places to play in the SEC. So I'm good with that. To keep momentum rolling, coming off a bye week, there's no excuse for us to lose this game. I'm sorry. There's no excuse for us to lose this game. These boys have not even seen their bye week yet.
When is their bye week? They got a couple. They've
already had their bye week. Their bye week came after Tulane, right before Alabama. And so after the Tulane game, I said that earlier. I forgot about that. After their bye week, they have been an SEC. They have been SEC schedule. They had Arkansas at home, then they went to Tennessee, LSU at home. Now they're coming to us next week. They get Liberty at home, which won't be an easy one.
Now Malik Willis is somebody we should have had.
Shout out to Malik Willis. Could possibly be our starting quarterback.
He should be our starting quarterback.
He's our starting quarterback right now.
Right.
He's on pace to be a first round pick in the NFL draft.
Right.
When the last first round draft pick quarterback Auburn had, I think you got to go back on 11 years. The miracle worker himself, Cameron Jarrell Newton, number 1 pick in the draft at quarterback for Auburn. You know what I'm saying? Malik Willis could have been the next up.
He could have been the next one.
That's neither here nor there. Congratulations to Malik. We're proud of you.
Yeah.
He's still an Auburn Tiger to us. You know what I'm saying? Shout out if I ever see War Eagle, my guy. But Ole Miss has got a lot on their plate, you know.
Oh yeah.
They like I said, they survived Arkansas. Probably should have lost. They went to Tennessee and won. Came back at home, beat LSU. They're gonna come to Auburn and lose. They got Liberty at home after that. They follow that game. Texas A&M is coming to Oxford. They get a break with Vanderbilt at home, and then they finish the season at Mississippi State. It's
rough.
They got a couple more. They got a couple more tough games. I mean, you know, they're gonna lose to us. They should beat Liberty, even though Liberty's gonna be good. It's gonna be a tough game. The A&M game is gonna be a toss-up between those two. I don't know how to call that.
Yeah, me either.
I know.
I'd see A&M this week.
Yeah, Ole Miss probably finished the season with about 3 losses, man. That'd be a pretty good season for Lane.
Yeah.
We come back 8-3, you know what I'm saying? Win the bowl game, go 9-3. That'd be nice. That would be nice.
That would be nice. And it would also be interesting to see if he stays at Ole Miss, because his name has been tossed around in a lot of different places.
But see, the only thing is, we know he's not going back to USC.
Nah, I don't see that.
And I don't know if he would leave to go to LSU.
Yeah.
Other than that, like, you got an SEC job. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's at a good place too.
And there's only so many of those SEC jobs there's only so many jobs outside of the SEC that are worth leaving for. Like he left Tennessee to go to USC.
USC.
That's a no-brainer.
Right.
That's a no-brainer.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, if you're not going to USC,
Ohio State,
Michigan, Penn State, Iowa,
Clemson, maybe.
You're not going Clemson, Florida State,
Yeah.
to a Miami,
yeah.
Oklahoma, Texas. If you're not chasing one of those jobs, you've got one of the best jobs in America in Ole Miss. And seeing how you are, like you being Lane, you're gonna get kids in Oxford. That because Hugh Freeze showed no matter how you get them, you can get them now. They'll come to Oxford.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can get them in Oxford faster than you can get them in Starkville. You know what I'm saying? And you probably can get them in Oxford faster than you can get them in Ames, up in cold ass Iowa City too.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So I don't see a Big Ten job opening up that he'll leave for. Because I mean, Penn State's locked in, Michigan's locked in, Ohio State's locked in, USC and Oregon.
I don't know about Penn State now. James Franklin name been kind of floated out there too. So we'll see.
James Franklin is out here. He just lost his first game of the season. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
James Franklin is good. James Franklin ain't going nowhere. Penn State ain't getting rid of James Franklin. So that ain't even coming up. You know what I'm saying? That's not a job opening. As far as jobs opening right now, you know what I'm saying? If it ain't Penn State, Michigan, Ohio State, those jobs are pretty much locked down right now. The only two jobs in the Pac-12 that you would really take
USC and
Oregon. Those jobs in Oregon, and he's not going back to USC.
Cristobal ain't going nowhere no time soon.
Yeah, Cristobal probably ain't leaving there either. So really, Lane's pretty much probably locked in right now. I think Ole Miss is going to be good for him. It's just going to be interesting to see what LSU does, though, because
very interesting.
Jimbo has some ties down there, but I think Jimbo is pretty solid where he is.
Yeah.
I mean, the money they gave him, his buddy came down there and loaded him up. And he's just now getting that thing to where he's starting to want it. He's just now getting that thing rolling. So I don't know if he wants to do away with that because he's got unlimited resources down there. They're gonna give him everything he wants and everything he needs.
Yeah.
And they have given him everything he's asked for. So I don't see Jimbo leaving for LSU right now. It'll be interesting to see what they do. I think Lane likes what he has in Oxford. He's in a good spot. It's a Nike school. It's an SEC school. He's on TV every week.
Right.
So
getting top recruits.
Getting top recruits, man. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Matt Corral came from California.
Out of Ole Miss.
Yeah, he just got a 4-star, one of the top 5 players in Mississippi at quarterback to commit this past cycle.
Wow. No.
His ties in Florida are strong, so he'll be able to go down there and get guys. So all Lane has to do is win some games. He's got to win some games. If he can win some games, he'll get some guys. That won't be a problem. I mean, he went into Tennessee, got the number 1 tight end out of there. He comes in Alabama, he gets some guys. He's around Florida. Lane's gonna make his presence felt. Ole Miss is a good job, and Lane's probably the guy for it. Lane's probably the guy for it. That's a good fit for Lane. But unfortunately, I like Lane, but he's going down this Saturday, man. Saturday.
What's your prediction?
On the plains, Saturday night game. Everybody watching.
Halloween.
Auburn 31, Ole Miss 21.
Okay, 10 point victory. I'm gonna keep it a little tight. I'm gonna go Auburn 34, Ole Miss 31. I think this gonna be close. I think a field goal will decide the game. I think it might be a little close, but I think Auburn get the victory. I think that's all the way a little bit that's a better team all the way around compared to Ole Miss. And I think I was looking at the ESPN index, and I think Auburn is like a 1 or 2 point favorite as well.
Yeah, we're like a 1.5, 2 point favorite, man. You know what I'm saying? I think the only position that they're just markedly better than us is probably quarterback. As far as wide receivers go, they got a bunch of them, and those guys make plays. I like our wide receivers, but their wide receivers might. At quarterback, I know they're better than us at quarterback because they're better than everybody at quarterback.
Right.
At receiver, they're pretty darn good. But outside of that, I think everything else we should be better than
stacked
those
up.
guys. Yeah, we should be better than those guys in every position. And I think as long as our coaches are better than their coaches, we should win this game. Like I said, 31-21, either 31-21, 34-24, something like that. I think I see Auburn winning by 10, just because Ole Miss's defense is kind of leaky, and we'll start and once we get a lead, we'll probably try to run the air out of the ball and ground them out and keep them off the field and limit their opportunities. And then when they do get out there, they'll be trying to pass, and maybe it won't work as well. So that's why 34-24, baby, 31-21, 34-21. I got Auburn by 10 Saturday nights.
All right, you got them by 10. I got them by 3. It's been a minute since they won actually in Auburn, so we think that tradition is going to stick alive. So, hey, we got a win for Auburn this week, and then they move on to the next week, and which will be back. That'll be definitely an interesting game or exciting game as we go College Station, play doggone Texas A&M. But yeah, we'll definitely be back for that game on next week. If you haven't, I'll say it again, make sure you subscribe to the channel, C&T Talking Tigers on YouTube. In fact, go check out our last episode from when we talked about Arkansas, and then we talked, gave some mid-season awards for the season. So go check that out right now. And then also check out this episode, share with your friends, your family, your loved ones, everybody. And
employees, people you don't know, we don't care. Just get the word out.
Get the word out.
Talking Tiger, baby. Our first season, we enjoying it. We having fun. We trying to build this thing. And guess what? We ain't going nowhere because we having too much fun doing it.
Yes.
So, hey, we'll be here. We ain't going nowhere. Next thing you know, it's going to be 2-3 seasons in. We might be somebody by then.
Right.
We'll be trying to get, hey, we told y'all in the beginning, get on board while you can.
Right.
While there's still room. Because once we fill up, too late.
It's gonna be too late. So you better hop on. You better hop on now. Well, hey, that's all.
Let's go Saturday night. Auburn Tigers. Let's get 89,000. That's over capacity.
Yeah.
Over capacity. Let's fill it up to the brim. Folks hanging all on the top of the goddamn bleachers, about to fall over. People all on the bottom. People running in. Let's do it. Let's run. And no crowd, no running, storming the field. We expect to win this game. They're a top 10 team. That's cool. We don't need to storm the field because we're going to win. We are Auburn. That's what we do. And as always, War Damn Eagle. Yes.
Let's make it spooky for Ole Miss this weekend at Jordan Hare. All right. Until then, we'll see y'all soon. We'll be back next week with more C&T Talking Tigers. Hope y'all have a good rest of the week. And one more time.
God bless you. Good night.
War Eagle.
War Eagle.
Hey.